Welcome to today's deep dive. We are so glad you could join us. And today we're actually doing something a little bit different, something really special.
We really are. The whole vibe today is going to be, well, very relaxed.
Exactly. So imagine a bustling, modern tech hub. You know, a city that's driving the global economy, just filled with e-commerce giants and high-speed trains. But its most famous local celebrity isn't a billionaire tech CEO.
Right, not at all.
It's actually an ancient poet who lived 1,000 years ago. And believe it or not, he happened to invent a really famous pork dish. Welcome to Hangzhou.
Yeah, that contrast is, it's exactly what makes Hangzhou so fascinating. It's located in eastern China, just a short high-speed train right away from Shanghai. So you have this thriving modern metropolis.
Right.
But at its core, the city's identity is defined by this slow, ancient, incredibly beautiful natural landscape.
And that is exactly what we are unpacking today. In our deep dive into these travel sources, the very first thing that jumps out is how the locals actually describe this place. There's this famous historical saying, above there is heaven, below there are Suzhou and Hangzhou.
It's an amazing quote.
Right. They're literally comparing this city to heaven on earth. I find that so amazing. What does a heaven on earth even look like?
Well, it's a massive claim, obviously, but when ancient Chinese philosophers and poets talked about heaven on earth, they weren't picturing, clouds and golden gates.
Oh, okay.
They were picturing the perfect ultimate harmony between human engineering and raw nature. So a beautiful lake, rolling green hills, ancient temples, and sweeping tea plantations.
Wow, that just sounds incredibly peaceful. And we are going to explore all of that in a very specific way today. Our mission is twofold. First, we're diving deep into the culture of this breathtaking city. And second, because our source material today is actually a beginner-level English travel dialogue, we are going to practice some fundamental English travel vocabulary along the way at a very relaxed, comfortable pace.
Right, which means our pacing today is going to be noticeably slower than usual.
Exactly. We want you to think of today's journey like a leisurely stroll with friends along the water. We are going to speak slowly. We'll use clear, natural English, but we will leave plenty of pauses.
So you, the listener, can comfortably digest the English while we explore the world together.
Perfect for anyone looking to improve their English without feeling, rushed.
And rushing through a city like Hangzhou would completely defeat the purpose anyway. To understand why it's considered heaven, you really have to take your time.
So let's start right at the center of it all, the famous West Lake.
Yes, West Lake is the absolute crown jewel of Hangzhou.
Whoa.
According to our sources, this lake has been a symbol of beauty for over 1,000 years. It is so culturally significant that it's on the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage List.
Right, and being on the UNESCO list is a massive deal. It's essentially like being inducted into a global VIP club for nature and history.
That's a great way to put it.
Right, it means the whole world recognizes that this place has to be protected. But I have to ask, how does a lake stay famous for 1,000 years? Doesn't a lake just, stay the same?
Not this one. The brilliant secret of West Lake is that it completely transforms with the seasons. That's why it has inspired countless poets and artists for centuries.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, in the spring, the shoreline is lined with willow trees. They turn this bright, vibrant green and flowers bloom everywhere. But then, winter completely rewrites the scene.
Winter changes it. How so?
When snow blankets the lake and the surrounding hills, all that bright color is stripped away. You're left with this stark, silent, beautiful scene. It looks exactly like an ancient brush painting.
Oh, wow. Snow on the lake. That must be absolutely magical to see in person. So imagine you were taking a boat ride, right? What exactly would you see from the water?
From the boat, you'd look out over the gentle water and see these small, peaceful islands. You'd see ancient stone bridges. And very importantly, you'd see traditional pavilions dotting the shoreline.
Okay, wait, let's pause right there. The word pavilion. Let's make sure our listeners know exactly what that means.
Good idea. So a pavilion is a small building, usually found in a garden or a park. But the key characteristic is the beautiful, curved roof.
Right.
They don't usually have solid walls. They are meant to be places where people can sit, rest, and just enjoy the view of nature.
I love that. You're just gliding across the lake, passing an ancient bridge, and you see a beautiful pavilion on the shore. I can completely see why they call it a poetic city.
It really is. But of course, all that walking and boat riding around West Lake, it's definitely going to make you hungry.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're in a heavenly city, you want heavenly food, right? What kind of special food does Hangzhou have to offer?
Well, you have to start with the most famous dish in the city, dongpo pork. And what makes it fascinating is its origin. It's actually named after a great poet, Su Dongpo.
Wait, really? A poet?
Yes.
I find this so amusing. It's like having a modern-day celebrity chef who also writes best-selling poetry. Is it really that common for a poet to be remembered for a pork dish?
In his case, yes. Su Dongpo loved food immensely. He actually wrote poems about his cooking process. He believed in cooking the pork extremely slowly, blending his two passions perfectly. Slow heat, lots of patience.
Wow, that is amazing. The patience for cooking matches the patience for poetry. Are there any other local delicacies we should know about?
Oh, definitely. Two other must-try dishes are Westlake vinegar fish and Longjing shrimp.
Okay, Longjing shrimp. That word Longjing, I saw that in our notes. What does it actually mean?
So Longjing is actually Chinese green tea. It is widely considered the most famous tea in all of China, and it comes right from the green hills surrounding Hangzhou.
Oh, perfect. That sets up our next destination beautifully. So listeners, let's visually leave the lake for a moment. We're traveling up into the beautiful, rolling tea plantations on the hills. Can visitors actually go there and see how the tea is made?
Absolutely. Visiting these plantations is a massive part of the experience. You can watch the workers meticulously pick the fresh tea leaves, and then you can watch the roasting process.
And the roasting process, this is the part that completely blew my mind. Because they roast the leaves entirely by hand, right?
Yes, entirely by hand, inside large heated iron wugs.
Wait, I have to push back on this a little bit. We're in a modern tech hub. Doesn't doing it by hand take an incredibly long time?
Right.
Wouldn't it be way more efficient to just use modern machines to roast it?
Well, it would definitely be faster. And hand roasting is very, very hard work. The woks are extremely hot. But efficiency isn't the goal here. The meticulous manual roasting process is exactly what gives the tea its superior taste.
Really? How does a human hand do a better job than a machine?
It's all about moisture control. When a master tea roaster presses the leaves against the hot iron with their bare hands, they can physically feel the exact moisture content. They adjust their movements instantly.
Oh, wow.
Machines just blast constant heat, which can easily ruin the delicate flavor. But a human master uses these specific hand movements to press the leaves flat and trap the aromatic oils inside.
That is incredible. They can literally feel the moisture evaporating. So it's just, like you said, hard work equals beautiful results.
Precisely. It is a true craft.
Hangzhou clearly has so much to offer. I mean, Westlake, the tea culture, the delicious food, the history, it's such a treasure.
It really is.
Because it is such a treasure, we want to make sure you, the listener, have the exact English tools needed to talk about it.
Right. You need the basic building blocks to truly connect when you travel.
Exactly. So let's transition into our slow and steady language lab. We are going to do a highly structured vocabulary review.
Yes, we will take turns. I will clearly enunciate the key word, and the host will provide the definition and a practice sentence.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Listeners, this is the part where we explicitly slow down even further. Pause. We will leave deliberate pauses so you can repeat the sentences out loud. Pause. Let's begin.
Speak very slowly and clearly. The first word is lake.
Pause.
Speak very slowly and clearly. A large area of water surrounded by land. Pause. Westlake is the most beautiful lake in Hangzhou.
Pause. Speak very slowly and clearly. The second word is pavilion. Pause.
Speak very slowly and clearly. A small building with a roof, usually in a garden or park. Pause. We rested in a pavilion and enjoyed the view.
Pause. Speak very slowly and clearly. The third word is plantation.
Pause. Speak very slowly and clearly. A large farm where crops are grown. Pause. Hangzhou has beautiful tea plantations on the hills. Pause.
Speak very slowly and clearly. The fourth word is poet. Pause.
Speak very slowly and clearly. A person who writes poems.
Pause. Su Dongpo was a great poet and cook.
Pause. Speak very slowly and clearly. The fifth word is treasure. Pause.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Something very valuable and precious. Pause. Hangzhou is a treasure of Chinese culture.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, to truly navigate the city, you also need practical travel questions.
Right. So let's take turns slowly reading out essential travel questions, and we will explain exactly why each one is useful.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Question 1. How do I get to Westlake? Pause.
Yeah.
This is your essential transportation question.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Question 2. What is the best season to visit Westlake? Pause. This helps you ask about time and planning.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Question 3. Can we taste tea at the plantation? Pause. This is a great question to ask about activity.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Question 4. How much is a boat ride on the lake? Pause. You will use this phrase, how much is, whenever you need to ask about the rice.
Speak very slowly and clearly. Question 5. Where can I try dong pok pork?
What?
Pause. This is your food question. Ask a local to find the best restaurant.
Those are fantastic questions. So here's a challenge for you, the listener.
We want you to practice right now.
Imagine you are standing at Westlake. The water is calm, the trees are green. We want you to practice writing or saying 3 sentences in English about what you want to do.
For example, you could say, I want to take a boat ride, or I want to taste the green tea.
Take a moment today to build those 3 sentences. It really helps lock the vocabulary into your memory.
Absolutely. Practice is everything.
Well, looking back at our deep dive today, I have just thoroughly enjoyed this slow, deliberate journey. Hangzhou truly sounds like a place where poetry meets nature.
It really is. Every lake, every tea leaf, and every bridge in Hangzhou tells a story that is 1,000 years old.
So true.
And hopefully, you now feel confident that you have the English skills to visit and experience it for yourself.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to ponder. When you travel to a historic place like Hangzhou, does learning the language, even just a few descriptive words and questions, does it change you?
That's a great question.
Right. Does having those words change you from a simple observer into an active participant in that 1,000-year-old story?
I'd like to think it definitely does. You become part of the experience.
I agree completely. Thank you all so much for joining our relaxed travel deep dive today. We hope you enjoyed the pace and the beautiful scenery.
Keep practicing those English sentences.
Yes, keep practicing. Have a wonderful future trip wherever your language learning takes you. Bye for now.